Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Dayna Rubin. I today wanted to talk about quantum fertility. What is quantum fertility? Why is it a new buzzword that's buzzing around the fertility landscape, and what does it mean for you? Now, when we look at anything that is quantum, we want to know what quantum stands for. Quantum means that you're looking at something from many layers. There's many layers to our dimensional realm that we live in. Right now, we see things, we touch them, we feel them. That is the physical realm that I'm talking about. Then we have something that's a little bit more lucid, a little bit more intangible, and that would be more like the astral plane. When you're dreaming at night, that's a little bit more fluid, and I would call that the liquid portion of the quantum landscape. And then you have the subconscious mind, and that's what I would give the attribute of something that is more ethereal, something that you can't really even process yet in your head. It's too abstract to really explain here. So one of the best ways to explain quantum anything is to look at the substance water. So water can have three phases. Water is a solid, so you have ice. Then you have the liquid form of water. And then you have the steam and the foggy, steamy aspect of water, where you're boiling a pot of water on the stove and you start seeing the steam coming through. And that is another phase of what water really is. So when you think of the quantum perspective of anything, you're going to have a solid perspective. You're going to have liquid, which is still solid, but you can't really hold it in your hand. You can't really hold water in your hand. It just falls out. And then you have the steam, which you really can't hold in your hand. It's vapor. It just goes anywhere it wants to. And it can't necessarily be contained. So when we have aspects of fertility, we have to lay that foundational knowing onto the aspects of becoming pregnant. So let's start with the solid perspective. That would be the body, dealing with the body, the sperm, the egg, things that you can see, you can touch, you can feel, things that you know are there. That's the solid quantum level of fertility. And the body has to be very nurtured. It has to be there to create the actual, fertile soil in the womb. Having, a fertile womb, having a high sperm count. All of these things, we talk a lot about this in the realm that we're in right now. If you go to the doctor and you tell them that you want to start a family, they're going to talk about this solid physical realm. They're not going to get really woo-woo with you. And why would they? Because that's not their job. Their job is to crunch the numbers, show you the statistics, show you what's possible, run the tests, run a blood test if you need one, things like that. So it's going to be very solid, but that's not the only aspect of fertility. Then you have the liquid form of fertility, which is the communication on a very on another level with your spirit baby, realizing that you have a spirit baby that's out there that is looking to connect with you on a certain level, and then realizing that there's certain things that you're being shown. Maybe you have signs that pop up, the baby's name, you see it all over the place. And then you have certain dreams about the baby. That lucid state, that is the liquid form of the spirituality of childbirth, of fertility and conception, and eventually childbirth. Then you have what we almost can't explain. And it's still hard for me to explain, but I'm here pushing myself to explain it, which is that dimension that is on the subconscious level. So these are the very abstract things that are happening in the background that you don't really know about. These are the soul contracts that you've made with the spirit coming in, that the mother, the father, and the baby have made together. Things that are so foreign to you that you don't even know that they exist. And that's the STEAM portion of this quantum fertility. So if you're still watching this, stick with me, because it's very important to see these from a very high level, and to accept that there's so much going on when you are you are moving towards creating a family and growing a family. So the STEAM part, let's get back to that. That is the soul contracts that are happening in the background, the timing, not really knowing when the baby's coming, but can feel them. They're right there. You just don't know when you're going to get pregnant. All of those things are happening on a very subconscious level. They're being planned. They're being talked about. And they're happening on many different levels. They're happening right now while you're watching this video. And they also happened before you even came earthside. Before you were born, you were making some of these plans with the future baby that's going to come into your life, because you had a plan before you came onto this planet. So with regards to that, when you look at a plan for becoming pregnant, you want to make sure that it has all of those attributes, that it's quantum. And that's what I mean by quantum fertility. It's not just looking at the solid physical level. When am I ovulating? What are my blood levels? What's the sperm count? Are my eggs good? Those are really important. Don't get me wrong. The baby is created in the body. The body is so important. But then there's a lot of other aspects that we kind of push to the side because we don't understand them, and they're not being presented in a professional environment, like going to visit the doctor. So the soul contracts that you're making with the baby, communicating with the baby on a certain level from a spirit perspective, connecting to the timing of when the baby is going to come earthside. These are all the things that are really important to formalize. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's really important to see the landscape of fertility and conception on many different levels. And that's where some of my services come in. The Welcome Your Baby exercise and online course that I have on my website, daynarubin.com, starts this process. It's a beautiful way to unlock some of the ethereal, energetic aspects of fertility and conception. And it connects with the inner child, your inner child, and your baby's inner child. Because your baby has a beautiful, wonderful soul. The souls are very juicy, the ones that are ready to come earthside, but they also have an inner child aspect to them that is the human consciousness of why they want to be on earth. And then you have the shadow work that needs to be cleared in the Akashic records. So that's something that I've built into that course. And you also need to trust your body, which is the physical part of what we talk about. And you also need to be able to create an environment to actually welcome your baby earthside and clear anything that is staying in the way of that relationship, whether it's between you and your baby, your spirit baby, or your partner and your spirit baby. So this course is available. It's on my website, daynarubin.com. And I have another course called the Spiritual Fertility course that goes into an even deeper aspect of all of this. We do a lot of beautiful things, clearing our chakras, getting the Kundalini into alignment, focusing on the chanting, using the voice to activate not just the body, but to communicate with the baby and chant and have the baby connect and listen to what's happening, that you're calling to them. I'm here, I'm ready, visit me. I'm open to house you for 9 months and to be your mother or father. So those are all the beautiful aspects. And it took me a long time to formulate this stuff, but once I did and I put it into action, it's it's such a gift, and it's a gift that I'd love to share with all of you. So if you know deep down in your mind's eye and in your heart that there's so much more to that physical conversation that you're going to have with a doctor, then you're in the right place. You can learn a lot more on my website, and I have a ton of videos online. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, and Rumble. And my handle has changed. It is I am Dayna Rubin. So I started this journey from fertility to delivery. And so you'll see that a lot if you're new here. But that is slowly fading away, and we're moving into me, Dayna Rubin, as the brand, because that's the next natural step. So thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to you. If you have any questions, please email me. My contact information is in the link in my bio. You can also go onto my website and sign up. There's a pop-up when you go onto the website, daynarubin.com, and you can sign up for my monthly newsletter, which I will be doing a lot more communication this year in a monthly newsletter format to express certain ideas that are popping through, and offer some very special special access information that you wouldn't get if you were not on the newsletter. So thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to you and lots of love. Take care.